What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily, your source for daily tech news. We have a few stories, a few questions. If you have a question that you want answered in tomorrow's video, leave it in the comments down below with the word question as your first word, and I will answer it tomorrow. With that said, let's jump into the tech news. Our first story of the day is a deal that's going on for the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4. This is like the sportier version, the one that does not have the rotating bezel. It has like a digital bezel, but ultimately it's a really good deal because you're saving up to 25% and getting a free wireless charger, and it's all through Amazon. Check this out. So if you want to take advantage of this, it's linked down below. You can get it in the Bluetooth Wi-Fi version or the LTE version, and both of them come with a wireless charger. And again, you can save up to 25%. You can get the 40 millimeter or the 44 millimeter. So it's a really, really good deal. I think it's one of the first sales of this watch that we've seen thus far. So if you want to pick this one up, link down below. I have the classic. I like it a lot. Do I wear it every single day? No. Do I wear it most of the time? Yes. But yeah, if you have this watch, let us know what you think in the comments down below. And also remember, this is the one that runs Wear OS, so it's got all the Google apps and stuff on there. So if you've been wanting to try or take advantage of those Google apps and have a bigger ecosystem and longer support because this is the newest watch, then you'd want to jump on this deal. Next up is about our friends over in the EU, the European Union, and a little change that might happen to you if you have a mobile phone. It's basically at its last step, I believe, before it's voted on, where they're going to require all mobile phones that are sold in the EU in the next 2 years from now, basically, to require that if it does have wired charging, that it's USB-C charging. Why does that make a difference? Because of the fact that when you have an iPhone, right now, iPhones have lightning charging. And this is going to potentially lead to two things. But before we jump into those two things, let's talk about some of the details in the devil here. So as you can see, EU is set to mandate the USB-C on all smartphones, and Apple is predictably pouting. It's not giving up on lightning cables without a fight. And European Commission put out a tweet saying, "Are your chargers piling up in a drawer? We propose a common charger for mobile phones and other similar electronic devices. A single charger will be more convenient for people and will reduce electronic waste." I love this, right? And then Apple has since put out a little statement to Reuters, news agency. "We remain concerned that strict regulation mandating just one type of connector stifles innovation rather than encouraging it, which in turn will harm consumers in Europe and around the world." So let's talk about this. Let me grab my iPhone while we do it. So is it going to harm things? No. Apple just wants to do it so you have to buy a lightning cable as your charger. Like, what does the lightning cable do that a USB-C can't already do better or the same? So come on, switch over to USB-C. Even some of the iPads already have USB-C. So like, why even have this differences in charging for different platforms that you have internally? It's like, it's super ridiculous. The other part of this, and I've seen it in comments and things, is it makes a good point. Apple could theoretically just get rid of all the chargers, go completely portless, and have wireless charging, the MagSafe charging. That would circumvent them having to even use USB-C charging on their phones and have it so you still have to buy a MagSafe charger through Apple or one that's licensed through a third party because of Apple. So they can still get around this. Will they? Won't they? I don't know. But it wouldn't take advantage for about 2 years, and 2 years from now, we might see completely portless phones anyway. What do you guys think? How do you feel about this? Is Apple right? Does it stifle innovation, or is Apple wrong? And this is, saving the environment and it's better for everybody. Next up is about this. Well, not the S21 Ultra, but the S22 Ultra. Yesterday we spoke about how the Note phone is looking like it's dead, but it's going to metamorphosize into the S22 Ultra, and that the S22 Ultra would house the S Pen internally, a la Note phones have done for years. Because the S21 Ultra, you need a case like this in order to house the S Pen, like just inserts on the side. Not the end of the world, not that bad, but it's also a lot nicer if you can just house it directly in here. Now, with that said, what would it potentially look like? Well, Ice Universe just made a little mock-up of what it would look like at the bottom of the phone, and you can see it here, just the S Pen. It's a little tease. It's not really anything. It's really just to get you salivating for a new quote-unquote Note phone, which the S22 Ultra will end up sounding like anyway, that it's going to be a mixture of the Note phone and the S phone, at least design-wise and feature-wise, because it's going to have the S Pen internally in it. And if you think about it, we are merely only 3 months away before the new S phones are coming out. They generally come out in January or February. We're basically in October, so October, November, December, and then sometime in January. It's looking like 3 or 4 months from now before the new Note S phone, whatever you want to call it, is in your hand, and you're able to jump back and dive into your world of S penning. Let me know. That is your question of the day. How are you feeling about the S Pen being completely in love with the S22 Ultra, or are you gonna, do you need the Note phone? Let me know. Let me know how you feel about that. With that said, guys, let's jump into the Q&A portion of the video and drop that. First question of the day comes from Buhaya. How do I get the YouTube app Premium, appear and multitask on the Z Fold 3 while the video is playing? I am not really sure what you are asking me there. What I think you're asking, you're asking picture in picture. Well, first of all, you need YouTube Premium. And then if you have YouTube Premium, it should automatically be set on by default. Go to your YouTube. Instead of just pressing on it, press and hold on it. And then click on the little eye in the top right. And then from there, go down until you see picture in picture. Turn it on right there, and then you'll be able to have that floating window. I think that's what you're asking. If you're not asking that, I don't know what you're asking. And if you are asking something different, ask it again today and put it in a new question. You know, put the word question and do that. But I think that's what you're asking. Next up is Mustafa Ahmed, who says, can Samsung Z Fold 4 or the Fold 2 from Google make outside screen wider like a candy bar phone and inner screen 6 by 5.2 inches equal 13 inches? It would be a dream phone for everyone. Currently, Z Fold outside screen is very narrow. Can you please tell me your opinion? I mean, I think anything is completely possible with making these phones have a wider outside display. I think Samsung doesn't do it because they want to make this feel hand holdable and not uncomfortable. But I think if you're gonna make a bigger phone and it is uncomfortable, then come up with some kind of device like a pop socket. Come up with your own kind of pop socket to make it interesting. I think people would be still for it. So yeah, I think anything's possible with making these wider, making this, I don't know what you mean by like 13 inches, but like making this, they can make this bigger too. I'm all for it. Like I've said it a few times, make this larger. Like there's a market for it. There's people that want it, but then there's also people that just want this size or maybe even slightly smaller. So like, I think you can get to a point like they do with the S21 phones where you have a small, medium, and large phone, and you make the market happy. And I think once we get to a point where most people want and need foldable phones like this and other devices, maybe like this, like dual screen phones, I think you're gonna start seeing more sizes, you know, small, medium, large. This is a long question, but we'll get through it. This is from Sharjeel Shazad, who says, Greg, would you rather have an S Pen inside the device or magnetically have it attached on the back of the device like the Galaxy Tab S7 because it allows more room for a bigger and better battery while the S Pen slot takes up a bit room in the house as in the device. Also, housing the S Pen inside the phone would mean that they would need to make the S Pen smaller, and using the Galaxy Note S Pen is a nightmare. Like I could almost not grip it, and there is no room to putting them comfortable big S Pen inside the housing. What's your opinion? Would you rather go for the Galaxy Note approach, or would you rather have a roomier, bigger battery and thicker S Pen that you could carry around with all the S Pen magnetic slot? I totally butchered reading his question, but he makes a good point. Like, would we rather have a S Pen that's, you know, thicker like this one, like the S21 Ultra, which I think, that, if I remember correctly, this is thicker. So I don't mind having it a little bit thicker. It doesn't have to be super thin. For me, it's not like too thin. I'm not a big S Pen person anyway, but I feel like the best implementation of an S Pen is to house it inside of the phone. People are used to that. That's what they came from. That's what they expect. And it shows that you have really good engineering. I think you can still put a big battery in the phone and a fairly thicker S Pen. Just make the phones a little bit thicker. We don't need to have thinner and thinner phones, especially at the expense of battery life. So it's about time, like I've said it in the last couple of days, where we come out with devices that have bigger batteries or even better batteries and get amazing battery life, because performance and style of phone is already there. Now it's just time to improve the battery life again. Plus, to add on to that, I think having the pen magnetically attached to the phone is a way to definitely lose it. And our last question of the day comes from JG. Says, is it true the Classic 4 watch LTE has overheating issues and shuts down? Love your show, Greg. I haven't heard that at all, so I'm gonna say false on that. I haven't seen it on any websites. I haven't seen it on Twitter. I haven't dove too much into Reddit. I would go onto Reddit and checked it out, but I haven't seen anything. So I'm gonna go with that's not real, or at least if it is real, it's not a big occurrence. If it does happen to be an occurrence, I will definitely talk about it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have questions, leave them in the comments down below with the word question as your first word, and I will answer it tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. We'll see you down the road. Peace.